Okay, hello everyone, Professor Lando here. We are in fact streaming on Twitch right now, but you might be watching this on YouTube. So, I want to talk about art today. Pewdiepie released a video and people have been talking about his art. Rightfully so, because I think it's pretty good, right? I think it's a surprise. Basically, Pewdiepie has been on this kind of journey to improve his art and the results have been really good. He draws well. People have been talking about it, and there's been a kind of a conversation on self-improvement, art in general. People have been making comments about AI art, relating PewDiePie's progress and self-improvement to that. I'm an artist, of course, an artiste, and I have a lot of thoughts on art. I love talking about art, and so I thought I'd use this chance to, one, I haven't seen the PewDiePie video yet. We're gonna give that a watch, but I've talked about many of these points before, but I thought this would be a great chance to kind of compile all my thoughts about art and self-improvement and AI art as well. But first off, I think we need to watch the video, right? I have not watched this, and maybe some of you guys haven't, so this is our chance.
Drawing. It's hard. Here's a picture I drew when I was 7 years old. It's me and my dad showering. What's the problem? I know what you're thinking. Endless potential in this young artist. The truth is, I always liked drawing. I just never practiced it. So in my last video, I decided to try and practice drawing every day for 30 days. And I realized this is amazing. I'm having so much fun. And I could compare the result when I started to after 30 days, and it was a big difference. So it really made me motivated to keep going, and especially.
Oh wow! So that was 30 days. Wow, that's an amazing
Therefore,
improvement.
I continued, and we're at day 100. I drew every day for 100 days.
A little over 3 months.
Let's look at the result. Did we have the same kind of improvement, or have I peaked? I'm so excited because I purposely have not looked at these old ones as well, so we can hopefully experience this together. Just for reference, this is where I started off at day 0. And this is where we left off at day 30. I really didn't like these. I bought these markers or pens to fill in. I thought it would automatically make it better, but it was just really hard.
Okay, first point. I'm so glad he talks about this. I bought the pens because I thought it would make me better. He's clearly gone onto the path of being an artist, because that's such a... I remember being a kid drawing and like, I need the good markers, or I need like a really expensive tablet or whatever it's gonna be. When I was growing up, it was the Copic colored markers, which is like that. Oh my god, I can't possibly draw well without the Copics. That's what all the pros use. And it's so funny he talked about markers, because I actually, for today's video, I went out and I was like, what are some good markers to use for the art? And so I got these microns. I mean, these are the ones I've always used, but like I literally just did that. Like, oh yeah, the nice markers. Yeah, that's totally gonna work. So like straight off, he's already falling into a pitfall of like, you know, the tools make me better. But you know, I guess like I guess there's a point of diminishing returns. I do think like better tools like do help, but there's like a falling off point, right?
You know, 5 days after I'd done my video, I felt like I just lost sort of what I had gained. Like, I was so mad about it, and I felt like a fraud. Like, oh, did I just trick everyone? Because I couldn't draw anymore. So I kept going, and I tried to draw as much as I had time to do, and slowly gained back my momentum. I draw Momo here, because Marta wanted me to, and she drew Momo as well. I added it to the end. Oh yeah, so my favorite rhythm game is called Tunithum Sun, and they have these characters that are really interesting.
Wait,
because they're so
I just played that at the arcade with my friends.
So I really like drawing these.
It's good.
I feel like
Wait,
I got
that's a fun one.
Which I couldn't do before. So yeah, I love drawing these. It's fun to try out different styles.
It's like a piano. It's like a portioned off piano.
I'm just trying to draw different things that I see and like as much as possible, and that's what everyone told me as well. The best way to improve is draw from reference. So I did these super quick. And I felt like they were kind of fun and weird. Had a day. So sad, anime girl. Anyway, I finished the book. I never thought I would. So I bought this new one.
Okay, he's, dare I say, not a true artist, because he actually filled a sketchbook. I've bought 1,000 of these in my lifetime, and I've never filled one out. He's trying too hard to pretend to be an artist. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That's actually very impressive that he actually filled out because I bought a sketchbook. I filled maybe 2 pages, 3 pages, 10 at most. And then it's like time to get a new one because it makes me feel good to buy a new thing.
I was so proud of it. I loved it so much. I couldn't believe I drew it. And I felt like, yes, I did it. I drew something I liked. Finally,
he gave
It was
the
also
head
kind
a
of
little
blessing and a curse because
perspective,
I would
little
always
tilt.
compare whatever I drew to the best thing I felt like I drew, and it made me really hate a lot of stuff that I drew that I don't think was that bad.
Another key, I mean, I don't even really have anything nuanced or elevated to say about this, but I think not just artists, but everyone can associate that feeling of, you know, not feeling good enough or, you know, today I have an off day. I mean, just with simple stuff like I've been playing tennis, never played tennis in my life, and I'm starting to learn a little bit of like the techniques and stuff. And some days I feel great. Other days it's just like, wow, I like, why do I keep hitting the ball like out of bounds? Like, just yesterday I was hitting such a great topspin on it. I think we can all relate to this, but like with art especially, I'm sure he talks about it here, but not only comparing it to yourself, but like other people.
I don't know. Just drawing random stuff I find online on Pinterest and Google. God damn it! I think I was having a bad day. Fucking hated it. Always.
Okay, so even just now, I know I'm pausing a lot, but I want to say these things before I forget. I asked my mother because I was like, hey, I'm gonna do a video about art, and I was like, do you have any old art of mine? You can hear him laugh, kind of embarrassed, reflective, but it's great that he has like the self-confidence to just kind of show it on video and not to throw it away, because ultimately with me, I have thrown away so much of my old art. I had very few things that I still had and can show you guys from like way back when, because I feel like as an artist, we're just so, you know, we're just like, this is garbage. I don't want anyone to see this because I only want to present my best self to people. I only want to present my best art to people. But I think why this PewDiePie video is such a big deal, art in general, is because you find out it's not really about the final product. Honestly, that's the core message in a lot of these conversations, discussions, and debates about art when you talk about art in general, but mainly like AI art and stuff. Like the finished product is definitely not the point. It's what it stands for and like kind of the journey up to there. Because right now, when I was looking for those old drawings of mine, I thought like, wow, I wish I kept those. I wish I kept those. I feel you, PewDiePie.
Very. No, I don't. Didn't have time to draw that day.
See, I mean, he etches it out. I rip the fucking paper and I fucking crumple it up and I throw it in the trash can.
Because I don't remember why. Maybe it was because I was just doing so
maybe
bad.
my self-shame, my embarrassment in myself is...
now I look at this,
maybe he's more confident than me.
Just like what's way off.
I mean, if I was PewDiePie, I would be.
It's not really balanced. It's the sort of stuff you automatically pick up when you draw. Yeah, and the eye is way too high up in comparison, you can see here. But anyway, it's kind of fun to go through this, to be honest. Spend more time on some than others, I guess. I think 57 was a good day.
I was gonna say that one was, dude. Before you said that, I thought that was. I
drew with no reference because everyone, like I said, everyone said draw with reference. That's the best way to improve. To study other.
Wait, that? I mean, I think it says no. That's done with no reference? PewDiePie, you're God, dude. I don't know what stance I was gonna take going into this video. I thought it would kind of be like, oh, is he using reference? And I honestly thought this video was gonna, my video was gonna be one of like, you know, he's using reference, it's good, building blocks, but he doesn't have like an innate talent for art. But actually, I'm gonna have to change the point of my video because he wrote right there, no reference. If that's true, then I think maybe he does kind of have like a slight inclination towards art. He might have like kind of a natural eye towards it. But now we're getting into a conversation of like practice versus talent, which is its own thing, which I have a certain view on, but you know, we'll talk about that later.
Their forms and shapes. So I wanted to draw without just to sort of see if I was improving, and definitely felt like I had.
Wow.
So even though the eyes are too far apart, but hey,
draw been there, done that, buddy.
But yeah, there, done that. I sort of plowed through this book. So I bought this really big one, like a proper art book instead of a sketchbook, and I tore off the first 2 pages because the paper was so smooth and I wasn't used to it, and it was just so difficult. So no one will know what I drew, but I could actually fit a lot more into 1 page, which I think was really fun to just look at. Yes, I draw cat girls. Don't judge me.
Whoa, dude! When is the PewDiePie Dojin coming out?
So I tried to do 1 sort of page per day, which I really like.
He can draw Moe stuff better than I can.
To a more full body, different manga and stuff like that. You can see how many attempts it took me to actually draw something I was happy with. I feel like you draw 1 thing you like that will cost you 10 things you hate.
Is that Kobayashi Dragon made?
Myself as reference.
I think that it was like Toradora too.
I know that's kind of weird. I just needed the pose that I wanted to draw. Yeah, and that one too.
Wait, he's taking picture references too? Holy shit.
That I wanted to draw. Yeah, and that one too. I don't want to be an anime girl. I just need the reference. Oh yeah, this one in the middle is Marzia. I drew it super quick. I asked her to post for me. It's kind of bad, but it's fun to draw it. Here we go. So I borrowed one of Marcia's pens, the green one. It was really bad in the beginning, but I used the other end of it, and I think it was just too strong. I never used a marker before, so I wasn't sure how to do it. So I bought my own markers just to kind of try it out, and obviously it takes more time to color stuff, but I really enjoyed doing it, and it sort of makes them come to life more, and I was trying out different things. Sometimes it doesn't work. I drew that one, but I was too scared to actually commit to coloring it because I thought I would ruin it. I spent one day trying to do green.
Wow.
Then another doing blue, and I try to not waste much time coloring, but then they get really sloppy and bad, so it's difficult. I did yellow, which I really love. I was trying out different methods of sort of how to make it interesting. Red and salmon. I wanted to go through every color I had because I didn't have that many anyway. I drew this one and I did it so sloppily.
Okay, these are fucking amazing. Again, he says himself that he's using reference at this stage, which makes sense for like a 90-day journey. I don't know which, like, is he using a color reference? I'm not sure. I mean, it's still good if he's using reference, and I think that's the right move, and I would encourage people to do this, and I did this at this stage as well. But if he's not using a reference, he has a really good eye for color. If YouTube was never a thing, who knows? He could be a really poor, undiscovered, unsuccessful artist. That's actually really good, though. That is really good at art.
That I felt like I could have done that better, so I really tried on this one.
Whoa!
I like it. It reminds me of an anime I watched when I was way younger. I don't remember. It was like a redhead girl with a samurai sword. Did a purple one. These are very anime
I
drawings.
really like that one. Oh my god. I mean? He's cracked.
See it in front of you. This is my fortune for the year. I got Daikichi, the best fortune. So prosperity and wealth to me this year. Thank you very much. Too scared to color this one.
Oh, this is the one. This is the one everyone's been posting.
My favorite. I love this one. This is on day 84. This is nice to look at. I think it works. So
that's the one everyone's been posting about. I mean, even Pewdiepie said it himself there. He called it like the best one of his. So let's take a look. Again, it's hard to know like with or without a reference, but his choice of colors with the highlight, I want to say, not that I don't want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I feel like he's using some sort of color reference. Not like copying, but something that has like the same lighting hues maybe. Because if not, then he literally should, I don't know, like he's actually a genius. I would go as far as like if he's non-reference, like able at 90 days-ish, I'm assuming, or 100 days, let's say, able to draw this kind of like, I mean, he's better than me. Like this is better than me. Like the yellow, like the green base and then the off yellow green kind of highlight blending into the white, and he also gave the black. He's using like this light blue for the black and a slight highlight right here, and he's also having the light on the skin too, and like that's cracked. I don't maybe I just suck, but I mean there's a reason why everyone's been posting about this. He's great. This is amazing.
I used to feel like I drew something I liked again. I feel like there's definitely an improvement. I can see it already, but it just took me so many tries, and I was trying different. Anytime the head is shaped differently, it's like a whole different ball game if you're not used to it. So I drew from the side for the first time, and as you can see, it took a lot of tries. But I got there, okay? There was a painting here. I felt like I just needed more practice with different angle of the head, so I tried to do as much as possible. Yeah, different styles of coloring. It's a shame it bleeds through the coloring. I didn't like that one. I tried, I just wasn't happy with it. Yeah, I like that one a lot. Too scared to color it. Don't ask me what happened here. Still really struggling to be consistent with the different angles of the face. Messed up the eye.
Oh, I like that one.
I remember liking this one. Started drawing sad anime girls and Chainsaw
Benny!
Man.
Chainsaw Man!
Power and What's her name?
Wait, what is that? Look at that
Are so
power.
expressive. If you know this scene,
I don't remember
I was
that
like, I have
panel.
to draw that.
What is that panel with power?
So for day 98, I wanted to draw with you guys. So we'll do that now. So yeah, I realized I never actually drawn anything and recorded it before, so it was a bit weird, but this is how I do it. I bet it's wrong.
Okay, this is really good that he included this. This gives
like
us like a really good insight into his like what we've been seeing.
And
I think there's like a lot of questions that we're like, okay, but how is he doing it? What is his process? So let's see.
Where the chin is going to end up in relation to everything else, and that does not look right. For me as a beginner, this process takes me the most time, but I also think it's the most important. The chin is so difficult. It all has to work. I actually decided to change the eyes. I don't remember why. Just felt like they were a bit too messy. I also decided to change the body to be front face instead. It just felt more natural. And there we go. That's our first sketch. So I colored in with the pen, added these little frog characters. Now we can erase the scribbles, which makes it look really empty. I wanted to make the hair gray, but I didn't really have many colors, so it was hard to make it work. I tried my best. I feel like the more different tones and shades, the more alive it looks, so I wasn't planning to go this dark, but here we are. Face is always scary, in my opinion. And then once I'm done coloring, I like to fill in more with the mark. I don't know what to call it, the pen?
The fabric area, he's really good, actually.
I wasn't sure whether to commit on the frogs, but I did.
It seems like he did this without a reference. From the way he presented it and how that played out, that seemed to be like without a reference.
Why not? So I colored in the frogs, and I decided to add some splash of green, just so the three colors would show up somewhere on her as well. It actually looks nice. I added this circle to make it more interesting, but I don't know if it was the best idea, to be honest.
Casually using some kind of $100. Wow.
99, I felt like I could finally more consistently draw different face angles. It didn't take me 600 tries, as you can tell by the lack of eraser. In comparison, at least. And then on day 100, I just wanted to draw, again with you guys, a little bit of Chainsaw Man.
Dude, Chainsaw Man has inspired a generation. He references Chainsaw Man multiple times here. What have I recently been drawing? Chainsaw Man.
Like what I draw usually is not as good as the reference, but hey, it's still fun to look at it.
He's a Kobeni Chad.
Best girl, easily. So yeah, that concludes my 100-day drawing challenge. I owe a huge thanks to you guys for...
Okay, that's pretty much it. Wow. That's so funny that he references Chainsaw Man That's how you know you have a good piece of media, is that it's inspiring. He's very clearly like draws a lot of inspiration for it, or at least motivation, because I've been an artist for a while, but I've kind of fallen out with art on and off. I was really into it when I was a kid in high school, but my adult life, I didn't really draw like I used to, but I actually watched Chainsaw Man. My viewers, my chat got me to read it, and so I've read part 1 of the manga, and it's like I fell in love with it. It kind of like, I was not really vibing with anime for a while, but I read Chainsaw Man, watched it first, and then read it. I was just so motivated that I actually started to draw like a quote-unquote full piece of artwork and I've never really drawn like this for fun in a very long time, and this is what I've been drawing. So I don't know, I just find it funny that I just kind of went through the same kind of thing with Chainsaw Man. I like what I did with Denji. I guess this is also like a benchmark. If anyone's watching that's not really familiar, I'll show some more examples, but since this is a current piece, I guess you could take this as like, I don't know, like where I'm at with art. So this is Pewdiepie did 100 days. This is my, let's say 26. Well, I guess I wasn't drawing when I was a baby. So maybe like when I started drawing, maybe when I was 7 years old. So I don't know. There's like a 23 year progress to get to this point. That being said, I've never really been very strict with my art. I didn't really, I don't do art in any capacity as a career. I never really have. It is to say that like I definitely could have practiced more, and I could have been way more disciplined with my art. That's kind of the point of the video. We're going to talk about PewDiePie and like his motivations and stuff. This is the one that everyone's been kind of using on these Twitter posts and stuff. Rightfully so, it's really good. I think the main thing is there's like a couple people, or there's a handful of people that feel maybe you can see it as motivating and demotivating as a way. They're like, wow, he's so good. It only took him 100 days to get here. Either I'm seeing the sentiment like, that makes me feel bad, or maybe it's inspiring to a degree. I guess the focus is that it's impressive that he got so good in such a short amount of time. And hey, let's get this clear. Like, I didn't watch this video before I started this stream. I saw the final products on Twitter, but I didn't know what was referenced and what wasn't referenced. So I didn't have any, expectation. I'm really surprised as an artist myself that has been doing art for a very long time, have used art in my work and whatnot. I think he's great. He's really good. I would go on to say he has maybe some kind of inclination towards art, right? And I guess that's one conversation. There's practice versus talent. There's a lot of people who think talent doesn't exist and it's all about time in, time out. I think PewDiePie is kind of an example of this to a degree. Like, I think at its core, the best message you can take away from this is that if you sit down, put the time in, you can improve. You can go from basically the most bottom of the barrel beginner competency to like pretty freaking good. That being said, I'm on the side that I think there are people with like a slight inkling towards whatever art or discipline that they might be adept at. In this case, maybe PewDiePie does have like a little bit of like a quote unquote artist's eye. I don't think it's the end all be all. You can't just be born with talent and just kill it, right? It takes time for you to curate your skills and practice. That's my opinion. I do think people are kind of born with like a slight eye for it. And I've seen friends of mine that they've never really considered themselves artists, but they kind of draw something. And as an artist myself, correct me if I'm wrong, artists out there, if you're an artist, when you see that, you can tell, even if it looks quote unquote bad or very novice, you can tell when a beginner draws and they kind of have an eye for it. They do certain things, they use, whether it's perspective or blocking out, like they kind of, you can tell when someone kind of has like that inkling. So, I mean, I think it's like that with any sort of quote unquote skill. That being said, I think PewDiePie has shown you, I don't think he faked his novice level skills at the beginning of the challenge. There's like two sides of it. There's like a discussion about don't get demotivated, or perhaps use it to inspire yourself. Maybe it doesn't have a place in this discussion, but I see it brought up so much that it must be relevant somehow. People are like kind of using PewDiePie's video as like an ode to the AI fake pictures, right? Let's not even call it art. Like people who make these plagiarized pictures using AI. First of all, you hear it in his voice, PewDiePie here, he talks about the process, and yes, an AI could make images that are quote unquote better than the stuff PewDiePie produced, but why do we all care about this? We hear Felix and how much he enjoys it and the process, and it brings him joy, and it's bringing us joy because it's just such a simple thing. It's that it's the person behind it that people, ultimately everyone cares about. Because like I said, I've seen some crazy AI generated images. We're not talking about it. Thousands of people aren't talking about it. Me, this random YouTuber, isn't on here talking about how good this, I'm talking about Felix's art right here. And that's the simple thing, sort of combative statement towards AI, but also I would say as a motivating statement to people who maybe would see this and want to get better, or maybe they're frustrated at their own progress compared to PewDiePie here. It's literally just time in, time out. Time in, time out. Like, practice more and you will be surprised. I think a lot of us, especially when you get older, we get dejected. We're like, it's too late for me. That's the kind of the sentiment. PewDiePie's older than me and he's improved massively in just 100 days. That's not even half a year. It's just consistency. I mean, you always hear this platitude and people always agree with the sentiment, practice makes perfect, but no one really takes it to heart. And I think there are very few examples of people like applying it. I imagine kind of a hypothetical where you have someone that like, man, I want to learn how to draw, and someone says to them, you can learn. It's like, but I have never drawn before, there's so many people better than me. It's like, well, you can practice. And it's like, nah. But it's like, you don't know until you try. You'd be surprised. An example with me is that I've been an illustrator and a sort of like artist, traditional digital artist all my life. I've had an interest in music in my adult life. And music, like, that's the perfect example. People are singing in choir, they're 7 years old, voice of an angel. People have been forced to take guitar lessons, piano lessons since they could barely walk by their parents. Years of progress over me. I get it. So it can be very dejecting to learn how to play music. I just think like you can do your best to kind of get as good as you can as quickly as possible and I think one thing that's important is I don't think I agree with the sentiment of like, don't compare yourselves to others. like period. I think you should to a degree. Like with everything, moderation is key. I think you should compare yourself to others in the right way. Not like, oh, like I've been learning the guitar, that's why I have this right here. Bought this guitar last year at the end of last year because I wanted to learn how to play. You know, it's like, I'll never be as good as John Mayer. And it's like, well, no shit. So what, I just like give up? Like, see that, you know, that's not a fruitful conversation. It's like, yes, you know what? I could probably practice every single waking hour until I die. And I'll probably never catch up to John Mayer. Probably. Well, actually, maybe, but you know, most likely not. But that's not a good like metric for anything. I mean, you could look at people more your level, or maybe you can compare yourselves in a motivating way. Like instead of, I'll never be as good as John Mayer, it's like, I like John Mayer. I love John Mayer. I like his music. I think he's a great guitarist. I would love to be as good as him. I want to practice so that I can strive for that goal. And yeah, I see in chat there Dreamy saying like, you know, maybe you're trying to convince yourself. It's sort of an excuse for yourself. Well, like, it's not that you truly believe in the sentiment, oh, I'll never be as good as like Pewdiepie, so I should just give up. I don't even think a large portion of people that say that believe it. They're using it, they're saying it out loud as an excuse for them to not even try. I've been taking the guitar on for a while, and I think the more thing is like, you'd be surprised the practice time adds up. Just get as much practice as you can. No, you don't need to take a class and sit there for hours every single day. Just a little bit of the day, some days longer, some days shorter. I mean, some days you take a break, you know, maybe some days you do have like a long session. It's just a matter of like getting as much practice as you can in. I do think people, I have seen the sentiment like, well, PewDiePie is a bajillionaire. He doesn't have to like do anything in his day. But I think, I don't know how much time you think he's practicing. I doubt that he's waking up every single day and sitting there for hours. It's like, yes, maybe at the end of the day, he is able to get marginally more practice. But if it takes PewDiePie 100 days and someone with a full working job, I don't know, 200, let's say double. Let's be generous and just say, let's say it takes you double the time. 200 still not a lot. That's not even a full year. You know, it might be easy for me to say these things as an artist that's quote unquote like, you know, I've been drawing since I was like a child, could barely speak, and I've had multiple decades of practice to get where I'm at. So it might be easy for me to say this, but when you take a look at the lens of music, I think it'd be much more relatable. And I think maybe what I'm saying could have a little more weight to it as like someone who's in his adult life. I'm busy. I got other stuff to do, especially when music doesn't really make me money, right? It's not part of my career. You know, people are saying PewDiePie doesn't have a job, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, he's not making money with his art. He's still taking time away. I thought I wanted to kind of do this right now, just to show you how much I've done just for fun, because my viewers know I've been practicing guitar for I've been playing a little bit on and off. I bought this guitar December, and I don't know anything about a chord. I don't even know the names of the strings on the guitar. I'm definitely a novice as novice can be. I compare it to PewDiePie's situation where like he's probably drawn before. Like it's not his first time he ever picked up a pencil and drew. So, I mean, it's not like a 100-day challenge or something. I've been practicing on and off. And I think the best way for me to not get so overwhelmed with learning the guitar as someone who's like older and maybe doesn't have that much time is that you just play when you can. One big thing is I place my guitar in my living room next to the main like armchair that I sit at. And so it's readily available. So I'll wake up in the morning, I'll have a coffee, and I'll sit there 5 minutes, just playing whatever, 5 minutes. And then I work out, and then I'll be whatever, just kind of relaxing, and I'll notice it. It's like right there. And I'm like, okay, let me just sit down, pick it up, 10 minutes. I think that's a big key. Like I have some friends that learn various musical instruments. It adds up. You want to mentally make yourself as readily available to practice and absorb it as you can. With PewDiePie, he says you see him draw, he draws Chainsaw Man, he draws from reference. With music, I think that's also important too. It's just like, you got to do stuff you like. You can't make it so like technical and dry, because if you're bored and you don't want to do it, you're not going to do it, especially if it's not something structured like classes or your job. You know, it's like, yes, maybe if I practice my scales in like all correct order and my fingering and my, it's like, yeah, maybe that'll technically make me better, but also, I probably would have quit, right? I probably would have stopped playing, to be honest. So yeah, I just learned songs that I like. Still a long way to go, of course, but hey, we're going. See, it's very interesting that PewDiePie used traditional art. I'm glad that he did, because I mean, with someone with that much money, you think he could just easily just like buy one of these bad boys and just go straight into like the best tablet Wacom Cintiq you can get. But he started from the basics, and it's been a long time since I did traditional art myself, so I thought it'd be fun if I showed you some of my really old pieces, not like from when I was a child, but from about when I was, I guess, maybe high school, middle school. This was a really old charcoal drawing of mine. I think middle school, I was really into the TV show called Scrubs, and I was really into charcoal. When I was a kid, I was really into charcoal and portraits. So this is, I think John C. McGinley's the actor's name. He's in Scrubs, and so that's one picture I had. JD, Zach Braff from the same show, Scrubs. This was a pen drawing I did, like a ballpoint pen, and this must have been 10th grade or something like that, high school. Pen, marker. I think around the same time, high school, like 10th grade. This was a watercolor piece I did. Terra Online was this MMORPG, which they should bring it back, because Terra Online was great, and I don't know why they would do that to their game. I don't know why it was such a great game. Why? They had a holiday contest, art contest, and so I did this, I think watercolor, like pencil and watercolor. I know that wasn't a lot of pieces, but that was just some that I was able to dig up really quickly. Okay, so I thought it'd be fun if we could give it a shot, just for fun, not really to make a statement or anything, to draw some traditional art ourselves in this with the same medium that PewDiePie did. Just it's kind of inspiring. You know, I think at the end of it, that's pretty much the message takeaway, that like, if you just sit down, putting time, you can improve, which seems like such a simple message, such a simple idea that I think most people can agree with. But I think PewDiePie was just putting it on show for everyone, and I think just his influence and how big he is it was just a good reminder to everyone, and maybe hopefully kickstart some people, maybe you're watching right now, to start drawing, because anyone can learn to draw. Listen, the best part about art, particularly like illustration, think about it like this. Guitar. I can play the guitar, and once I learn how to play the guitar, I can make any song I want. Just bear with me, right? If I want to make a song about corn cobs, I can make a song about corn cobs, right? I love corn on a cob. I eat it when I'm hungry. Make me go yum, 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 yum. Corn on the cob. I love corn. I love corn. I eat corn on a cob. Yum, 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 yum. You get the point. I can make any song I want, especially if I want to make a song about corn cob. I learned the instrument, I learned the art practice, and I can make a corn cob song. The point I'm making is, think about this. To anyone, perhaps supporters of AI images, think about this. If you learn how to draw, you could draw anything. You're not restricted. You don't have to work around parameters, or if you want it to be thicker and fuller or juicier, if you want to make any expression, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you could draw anything. And nothing's not allowed as long as you don't post it anywhere, hypothetically speaking. You could just draw whatever you want. Do you get what I'm saying? You guys should learn how to draw, because then you could draw anything. You know what I mean? Okay, this is gonna take me a second. I need to set up my camera. I have to like move it, so just bear with me, okay? Yeah, so just being inspired by our friend PewDiePie here, I thought it'd be fun for us to just kind of draw some traditional art. Like I said, it's cool to see him do like traditionally and not just jump straight to digital art. Knowing PewDiePie, he could easily afford like the best, most expensive tablet. So it's nice to see him start by the roots, which I feel maybe a lot of people, perhaps there's artists out there right now that think like, oh, I need to jump on digital art as fast as I can. But I know for me and a lot of people, we started off with the basics, right? Shout out to Terry. Terry gave me these Copics, which is, these were the markers. These are the ones that all the kids wanted. You were a cool kid, but they were so expensive as a kid. I'm finally going to use these. So Terry, thank you for these. I'm not really experienced with this, but I think maybe that's the perfect thing to do right now then, in light of this self-improvement, being vulnerable and just trying new things. You know, in honor of Pewdie, like in the spirit of PewDiePie's video, maybe we'll just draw like kind of generic anime girl and see where it takes us. Okay, we don't have a pencil to really give us any guiding lines, so we're just gonna have to wing it. Winging it's harder than I thought, guys. I hate it! And thus the process begins. I'm gonna try to draw Rei Ayanami from memory. I don't really remember what she looks like. Oh god, this is hard. This is way harder than PewDiePie made it look. I have no idea what their outfit really looks like. Oh, look, I have to physically use a different brush instead of just clicking my tool palette. Ain't that something? Okay, we have some kind of semblance of a bust. Oh god, I've never used these Copics before. Oh, they have different... Oh, wait, guys, this is like a very long journey for me. I've always wanted Copics as a kid. I've never used them. Oh my god, okay. Oh, holy moly. Whoa. Whoa. Wait, they're so nice. I expected it to be like way more unwieldy for some reason. Oh wait, you can't even see the color correctly on this. Contrast is kind of high. There we go, that's more accurate. I was right as a kid. This was definitely the premium stuff because I never knew because I never got any because they were so expensive. I had like rip-off ones, but no, this is legit. That's the real sauce right there, the Copic markers. Take a risk right here. Oh, it's a little dark. I don't know. Oh, I'm gonna make a risky move and see if it pays off. It was risky, but I think I accomplished what I wanted to do there. Coloring is like its own skill, like, because people want to be like, oh, are you good at art? Are you bad at art? But portions are one thing, inking, posing, composition, there's a lot to it. This is hard. This green's a little bright, but I think it's the best color we got. Maybe if I mixed it, we can get... Oh yeah, mixing. Traditional art. Oh, traditional art. Oh, vest is not quite the right color. There we go. I drew Rei. Let's see, what else should we draw? That was a little bit out of my comfort zone, not gonna lie. Okay. Not just you, Pewds. I've also drawn my eyes too far apart. Man, I don't remember what this bitch looks like. Oh, does she have a braid? Guess that looks a little better. Also, as someone who's been doing mostly digital art for a while, it's not the same. Like, it feels like weird. I haven't done traditional art in such a long time. There's no Control-Z with traditional art. I'm learning. I learned you have to think ahead with this. You can't just throw everything down. You got to kind of plan ahead. Oh, my light source is wrong. Oh, I messed that up actually. We all make mistakes. Some more than others. There is a charm that comes out of having a limited color palette. I think you see that in PewDiePie's video. He's kind of forced to make decisions because he only has so many colors.
Sure thing, Miss Makima. Can I suck your toes? Oh.
That's like if Psychic Pebbles made a Chainsaw Man parody.
Denji, I need you to kill the gun devil. Can I suck your toes if I kill the gun devil, Miss Makima?
My strength is not really in drawing women, I'm gonna be honest. Because it looks like PewDiePie really likes moe stuff. He likes anime girls, which I mean, who doesn't? But I grew up drawing superheroes and stuff. So in a way, your inspirations are gonna kind of decide like what you draw and what style you kind of make. My style is very far from anime style. One more anime grill, maybe? Who can I draw with these colors? Oh god, I don't really remember what she looks like. One of my first anime waifus. I don't really know what color her little tie is up there, but... Oh! You mix of colors and it makes different colors? Physical traditional art! Behold the magic! Meow. Am I right or am I right? Okay, there we go. I drew some traditional anime waifus. Honestly, way harder than I thought it'd be. You know, I've been doing digital art for so long. I was like, I'm an artist. This would be easy. This is just, you know, markers and pens. It's actually kind of difficult. Like, so big props to Pewdiepie for making so much progress, honestly. Let's just do some for fun. Like I said, I'm not the best when it comes to anime stuff. I feel like anime waifus in particular, I'm actually not that good at. Might be ironic given my main line of content. My biggest inspiration, probably Spider-Man comics. I read so much of those as a kid. My mother would bring home those old classic ones. And I loved Spider-Man so much. I think one of the first drawings, I'll see if I can find a old image of it, but one of my first drawings as a kid was Spider-Man. I'm just having fun at this point. Drawing is so fun. I really don't understand people who want to skip this process of like exploring. This is the point, dumbasses. I think that's what makes Spider-Man such a great character, is that he was easy enough, he was iconic enough, easy enough for a kid to draw. It's just like a basic human silhouette and then red and blue. How genius is that? Alright, I drew Spider-Man, Yoruichi, Rei Ayanami, and Maki from Chainsaw Man. I guess I'll draw some more. Let's see. Sonic was also one of my big inspirations growing up. Like, I read the Sonic comic book series by Archie Comics, and I don't know, I just fell in love with the characters. I fell in love with like the comic art, and ever since then I've been a big Sonic fan. I'm not the most precise with my coloring here, please forgive me. You can run, you can fly, you can reach the other side of the rainbow. There's no circumstance that you can't handle. I will say I'm not the best at using these markers yet. I have a lot to learn. Sonic, too slow! Spider-Man, Yoruichi, Rei Ayanami, and Makima. There you have it, folks. That was our traditional art. I hate it! Ah! I really like how my Rei turned out. Which one's your favorite? I think Rei turned out the best, probably. But in terms of the character I like best, probably Yoruichi. If you have any taste at all. Yeah, so I guess overall, in closing, I would say, very impressed by Pewdiepie's art. He kind of cooked me, not gonna lie. You know, traditional art is its own medium. Just because you're good at art doesn't mean that you're gonna be good at all kinds of art. I mean, going from tablet straight to like traditional, Pewdiepie kind of cooked me. Good job, Pewdiepie. Did good. Keep at it. Keep at it. Yeah, maybe someday, Pewdiepie, you'll be able to move on from being a YouTuber to a severely underpaid independent artist. If you can get good enough, that is. But yeah, art's fun. Art's fun, and I think it's very nice to see Felix kind of enjoy the process, which I feel is kind of lost on a lot of people. They just want to get good now. Me good want now. Good art. Wait. The most important part. The most important part of any art piece. This is the whole reason you even do art, is to do this. Boom. To put your signature on it. Cause, yeah. Thank you so much to our Patreon supporters, and a special shout out to the students shown here in detention. Check out my Patreon page for bonus content like extended footage, art, and behind the scenes updates. Thanks again.